From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam. With an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, and former mortician's assistant. Beware, beware. That might not be a phone jingling in your pocket. Join the Nevermorians for morning mischief and madness at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Your sense of humor is the only thing you need to wear.
Good morning, Nevermorians. How the heck are you? Jerome, I see you in the studio there. We'll have you in a minute. I'm an idiot. I didn't look at yesterday's form to send you a link. But anyway, we've got somebody special coming to join us this morning on Nevermind the Furthermore. So stay tuned. You're going to love this guy. He is so much fun. Anyway, welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, a proud part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And we hope you're having a great Friday. Looking forward to a great weekend. If you're watching us on Facebook, please like the page you're watching it on, and also like this video if you enjoy any part of it, if you would, please. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube on the Brian K. Morris Rising Tide Network, sorry, but we couldn't get a link to get up on the Geek Insider page this morning for some reason. But anyway, thank you for joining us. And again, please like the video, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe, please. We would love it if you did. Also, this episode is brought to you by Plasma Fire Graphics. When the look of your book matters to you, because gosh darn it, it matters to your readers and your potential buyers. So check out what Jeffrey Hayes can do for you at plasmafiregraphics.com, also on this great Facebook page. And also this show is powered by geekinsider.com. Please check out their amazing shows that they have on there, especially Wild One Forever. Way to start out your weekday, and I'm going to put my ears in because I know I'm going to want to hear what this guy has to say. And we are going to, like I said, we're going to bring in a guest. We are going to bring in a broadcaster and somebody who's turned out to be a good friend, somebody who understands me. Thank God.
Hey, just for you, I put pants on.
Oh my God! If only I did that much effort for you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jerome. I'm sorry I didn't send you the link until just before the show, and I'm being here because I was looking at my calendar yesterday, but I didn't look at tomorrow's.
This is the joys of broadcasting.
Yeah, I know. I used to work in public broadcasting, and things like this are what we used to call good TV.
I did a public broadcast show last night, so I know exactly what you mean.
Oh yeah, so you know the pain. If you think you have office politics where you work, kids.
Oh yeah,
public broadcasting someday. Well, anyway, Jerome, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and let you tell everybody how awesome you are. You're going to get the floor and all the dirt on it. And so Jerome, take the spotlight. Tell these people why you're so amazing and why you've earned this slot here.
Well, good morning. I'm Jerome Connor. I'm the co-host of Saturday Morning Cartoons on the Hanging with Web Show Network. How I got there, I'm still trying to figure that part out. I'm a longtime fan. As a matter of fact, I was just talking with the publisher on Amazing Stories, and we were discussing how you got your first science fiction book that you read, and mine was Rocket Ship Galileos by Robert Heinlein. Boy Scouts fighting the Nazis on the moon. How can you go wrong with that? Especially for a 12-year-old boy who's living on a military base. And I got hooked ever since. Now, ironically, in 1970, hang on a second here, Brian, this one's going to kill me here. In 1971, nope, let me take that back. 1969, my father introduced me to Star Trek, and I've been a Trekkie ever since, and to this day, he regrets it. I am a Star Wars fan since '77. Ironically, I read the novelization written by the great Alan Dean. God, I can't even.
Foster.
Thank you. I'm having brain cramps today. Alan Dean Foster, who ghost wrote the novel 4 times before I actually saw the movie. And by the way, watching Star Wars: A New Hope on a drive-in screen, there's nothing like it. Yeah, I went to my first convention in 1983 and rode down the escalator with George Takei. I was hooked on conventions ever since. I have worked with conventions at all levels except for the chairman level because I don't need that kind of aggravation. I have partied with some of the big name science fiction guests that you can imagine. I have, last couple of years been sort of getting into the podcast, which I'm having lots of fun. I'm finding wonderful people in the podcast community. And the most important thing of all, I am a proud dad of an 8-year-old little girl.
Oh, there
you go.
Awesome.
I hope that covers everything you're looking for there, Brian.
I think so, and then some. I think we owe you some change on that. And recently, the two of us met on Brian Wendloff's show, and Reels and Heels, and
I think Brian, we kind of stole the show from them, if I remember right.
We were having an open bromance at that point, and poor Ryan Permisson is still agonizing because he's writing down all these DVDs that Jerome and I saw when they came out, and he's trying to catch up with us. God bless the boy for one.
Oh yeah, we're currently working on a list of classics for him to watch, including things like The Maltese Falcon, 12 Angry Men, all the really great films, not just the science fiction stuff. We feel that if he wants to be a movie critic, he's got to know them all. He's got to know the greats.
Yeah, I understand that because when I was, much younger, about the time the Earth was cooling, I lived in a culturally deprived part of Illinois. We had an English teacher in high school. One of my English teachers in high school was actually discouraging kids from reading. He let us know one morning he was teaching us Shakespeare only because the school board told him he had to do it, and it's like, wow, we gotta get out of this place. Last thing we ever do.
My ex-wife was a high school English teacher, and Shakespeare was something she had to teach. And she looked at me one day and she said, I can't get the kids to read it. And we both sat down and we brainstormed how to get kids to read Shakespeare. And we came up with the simple fact is you got to watch Shakespeare before you read Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Even if it's bad Shakespeare.
Yeah, because I admit my mother, who actually went to attended college, and her teacher was my Shakespeare teacher in college later. Okay. She remembered my mother. but my mom made a point of taking me to the reissue of, I think it's the 1948 Hamlet with Laurence Olivier.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Oh, isn't it though? Even though you see
he is so depressing. He's so depressing.
I know. It's like you want to call suicide the hotline after you watch him on the screen because it's because he's such an incredible actor and he can make you feel all these things. And then she took me to see West Side Story.
Oh, Romeo and Juliet done in modern.
Oh yeah, and then we went together to see the Franco Zeffirelli Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
So I got a good education. So by the time I got into high school, I'm raring to read this stuff, and then to find out that's Stan Lee's favorite author, and then to have this goob come up and say, "Well, I'm only teaching this because they made me, and I don't want to do it, but we're going to spend 2 weeks on this damn Romeo and Juliet under protest."
Yeah.
It's like, thanks a lot, Hayseed. But
I'll be honest. When I was in school, they made us try to read Hamlet, and it was very hard because you didn't understand what was going on. And I gotta say, if it hadn't been for I'm blanking on his name. It directed Thor, did Henry V, did
Kenneth Branagh.
If it hadn't been for Kenneth Branagh as Henry V, I would never have gotten back into Shakespeare.
And I understand that. I mean, I like the theatrical versions a lot, but then you try to read that stuff with the iambic pentameter, and then you don't learn till years later that the reason why you don't understand a lot of the words is that he had to make them up. Yeah. Because the English language didn't have a concept for these things yet. But fortunately, like I said, I went to college, and my rhetoric teacher, one of my rhetoric teachers, was teaching a Shakespeare course, and her love for it was infectious. And the thing is, only 4 of us signed up. Ooh. And they canceled the class, and so we're in her office going, what do we do? She picked up the phone, called the president of the college, and this is the exact conversation. Hi, Bill, I think was his name, said, these 4 students want to take this class on Shakespeare. You are going to give them credit. We'll talk about it later. Goodbye. Click. And I'm like, OMG, the testicles on this woman.
Yeah, I'm liking this woman already. But, I got to say, though, Kenneth Branagh, between my wife's, one of her favorite films is Much Ado About Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
The 4-hour Hamlet that he did is, I think, required watching. It's just amazing. And then because I got into Shakespeare again, Patrick Stewart and David Tennant doing the scene of the actor showing up in Hamlet. You just realize how much of these actors that you love to watch on these shows all got started with Shakespeare in one form or another. And who was it? Patrick, I think Sir Patrick said that the reason is that it was easier for them to say the words in science fiction because of the Shakespeare, because of how, that the roll the words off their mouth.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Because there's a lot of not technobabble in Shakespeare, obviously, but you also figure that a lot of contemporary writers through the ages have gone back to see what Shakespeare did and build on his foundations. And I use him as an example of why public domain is so important.
Oh yes,
and I can see a day, unfortunately, when public domain may go away, because of the corporations that don't want to let go of Mickey Mouse and Superman. But it is so useful because you can explore these old concepts and add to them. In fact, right now I'm working on a novel that's taking some of the superheroes from Nedor publications, like the Black Terror. Oh yeah. And I put a twist on them and infusing it with my usual paranoia about the government and all the stuff that there's a goodly amount of tinfoil.
Yeah,
in this
so, good. I'm glad to see you're well shielded.
I am, man. I wear tinfoil diapers just in case those aliens come back.
I understand, but you're gonna need a little bit thicker than tinfoil for when the aliens show up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Brian's with us today. I see.
Yay! Yeah, in fact, we've got comments, and
oh my goodness, there's comments. I missed all that.
Oh my God, get into the comments. We got the Skunk Rocker, who is on a great show. You would love it. It's called Stupid O'Clock.
Sounds like so many people I know.
Oh my God, you'd love it. Those conversations we have after the conventions where you don't know where it starts and you break into a sweat as you're trying to keep up with the changes.
Well, not only that, but at the end of the conversation, you're going, how did we get from there to there?
That's Stupid O'Clock. And Skunk, you ought to consider having this guy on. This guy is fantastic. You will love him. I'm guaranteeing it, Skunk. But yeah, it's an after hours con conversation. It's Thursdays. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, and Saturdays at 11. Plus, the after show is even more uproarious. But anyway, Skunk made it at 8:02 a.m. and morning Brian, morning Nevermorians. I figure if I jump in here early enough, I might beat Trevor or Carl, and Trevor's right there behind him, and Bernie with the Fez awesomeness. Thank you.
Yeah.
I did that myself. I was very proud of
that. Was very good. I was very impressed.
Thank you. That was with a paint.net.
Okay. Did you see the Bernies in that they did for the comic books?
Yes, I've been seeing those.
I love what especially made me laugh the hardest was him on the Justice Society. I'm thinking, well, he's old enough; he could have been in the JSA.
That's true. Yeah, I had to look at that a second time because that's such an iconic cover that you think, okay, I've seen it before, and then I saw that I don't remember who shared it. I want to say it was Gail Simone or somebody.
I don't know who did it.
It's all over.
Yeah,
it's all over. But I'm like, it's like, oh, I've seen this before, but let's read the comment. Wait a minute, something's different here. I had to go back oh my God, it's him. So I figure I'd jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
So happy Friday to Teresa Dunn. Why? Yes, it's flipping cold out, but my God, we're gonna stay warm in here and have some fun. And
Brian, where are you at? Where are you at?
I'm in Lafayette, Indiana. We're about an hour northwest of Indianapolis.
Welcome to Massachusetts.
I lived in Newport, Rhode Island for a summer.
Oh no, we're further north. I
know you are about 70 miles north.
Yeah.
No, I was there the summer of 77. I remember it was April, late April, I believe. And the first day I got there, it was 70 degrees, and they were having the America's Cups race tryouts at the time. The next day we had a blizzard that extended up into your area. Then the day after that, we had a blackout that extended to your area. And I'm like, I want to go home.
You can't really see it right now, but it's snowing right now. So,
Jerome, we don't use the S word here.
Oh no, we love the S word. It's fun. It's great.
Well, this is Jerome's last appearance on this show. Good like hell, it's your last appearance. You're stuck. But Joe Dog McKeel is the host of Stupid O'Clock, also hosts his own show on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We're a thing now. And it's a lunchtime at the Doghouse. And it's kind of like this, except better organized and a lot more charismatic host. But anyway, and Michaela Jane, good morning to you, darling. And things are ramping up faster. Oh, dear. He's got two dogs, one of whom outweighs the other by 40 pounds.
Oh, no.
And Carl Witzman. Carl, good to see you. Watching Joe's Rocket on the other channel, so I'll be quiet at first. That's not a euphemism, Jerome.
I wouldn't have said a word.
You got to remember the audience.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I do. Having been watching this show for a bit, I do have to say, there's so many directions I could have gone.
I know, and we'll get there eventually. But no, Joe Dog also runs a show, but it's not on schedule. It's called Armchair Rocket Science.
Okay,
and he follows the live launches from NASA.
Excellent. And he definitely would want to check out Vintage Spaceflight, I think it's called. This woman does these the videos on her channel about the history of this space program, including things like the Soviet program and things like the SR-71 and YouTube. I've got a serious crush on her.
The science gal, I'm already there. I'm already there. And Carly, morning to you. And Michaela Jade points out that there's only 3 likes so far on YouTube. Let's get busy, people. If you're liking this video, and how could you not? It's Jerome of all people. You gotta love it, and please put on the like. And Carl Witzman doesn't put on his like until the video actually starts. I don't know if it matters to YouTube, but they are so picky. I'll take any likes I can get, Carl. And I want Brian to get every possible advantage. I love you, Carl. YouTube seems to penalize for you for all sorts of things. You got to deal with Facebook then. And the rocket should be going in minutes. And Ted Davies Artistry. Ted, God bless you. Glad you're here, my brother. And Trevor's retracted his like and will re-like. And Teresa Dunn goes, it's about time for Romper Room to start. Are all of you ready?
I see Teresa and I see Carl and How's that for a memory, huh?
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm flashing back on that.
Oh yeah,
And,
the memories are coming back bad.
oh, they are. That's what happens when Jerome and I get together, and Ryan's going, "Oh God." Anyway,
This is like the '60s, the drugs came back,
yeah. Well, yeah. I tell people, remember all those drugs from back in the '60s and
No,
'70s?
no.
I didn't take any of them. I don't know what my excuse is. So, and another member of the Hanging with Web Show Network, Christian Basil, who does the Legend of the
I'm so jealous of his show. It is such a great show.
It is so well done. He is such a great host, and he was on Clever Title Pending last Tuesday night, so y'all need to watch that. But anyway, he has the thing here. Arise, Friday Bernie Sanders monster. Arise. Well, better sit right there. May the citizens be unified by your lack of emotion and movement, by fashioning memes to your liking. And he says it's continued. Oh, there we go. Stay exactly still as your image transcends space and time and reality, as your liking poses with Star Wars, Star Trek places you inside a Davros, and so on and so on.
Yeah, I love that meme, but he's rocking the mittens.
He really is. He really is. Those are like the kind of mittens that all men wish they had, and all women wish their men had them.
Exactly.
So and successful Static Fire Joe is happy he will be here soon. Well, that's
excellent.
Good. And Trevor Hawkins makes a good point. Good to see a brother who is really ever ready, except for the battery company. And Trevor, by the way, is my artist on some of my books, like Santa
excellent. Son. I got to go buy some of those books of yours.
I agree, you do. No, you're familiar with my sense of humor. This is infused with it. Sad to say.
Gee.
I know. Well, it's like one part I like to quote is like, of course, the premise is that Dr. Frankenstein has created the spirit of giving from pieces of the recently dead. And, of course, he's also fashioned... What's this Christmas? Like dead people. And it's like he's also fashioned a suit for him. And as I say, that Dr. Frankenstein has no more business sewing cloth than he does flesh. It's really hideous.
Oh, I'm going to have to get that then.
You would love it. It is your kind of book. And the thing is, this little girl sees the creature as he's running around and goes up to Dad. He goes, "Daddy, I just saw Santa Claus." And Dad's like, "No, honey, Santa Claus isn't real." And she goes, "He is too. I just saw him. I know it was him. He had the festive red outfit, the jolly ho, 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 the smell of advancing decomposition. It had to be him."
Okay, I'm gonna die while laughing on this.
There we go. And let's see. And Gospel Jake, good to see you. We are well. We are having fun. We have no choice about that. And the Eric Hawkins, who's my comic book creating partner, goes, "Good morning, all. Good to see you, sir." And we got to say this because it's a cool channel. Join Glowcat and Skunk Rocker, says Kyle Guthrie. Who's Skunk Rocker? Every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central for Scrub House Video Live, a discussion on schlocky cinema from cheesy horror films to brainless action films, and Jerome's having a reaction. Dumb kids movies to insane martial arts pictures. Scrub House Video Club loves it all. So easy to watch with 3 different platforms like Facebook and YouTube and Twitch TV. It's rated WebMA for language and is considered
not
nifty.
Safe for work.
Yeah, I prefer to think of it as nifty, sensational, fantastic, and wow. So that means you turn up the speakers first thing in the morning over your coffee.
I can't watch it. I worked that night.
Well, this is why you need to turn up the volume.
No, the boss would get a little upset with that,
The boss needs entertainment too,
Yeah, I know that. Unfortunately, though, I'm a plant engineer. So
it'd be tough to hear. I understand. So you can especially sound ball. Yeah,
especially at the Amazon facility where I am the engineer at. So
that's right. You are at the Big A, from whom all blessings flow, and as used in hospitals.
Yes.
So anyway, check out Scrub House Video Club.
Sounds like fun. Oh my god.
It is. It really is. I have got the coolest friends. I'm dull as dishwater, but I got you, I got Skunk, I got all these people here.
Brian, I'm living vicariously through you, so stop saying you're dull.
Oh, you poor man. Oh, please aim higher, my friend. And never mind the moral. What? That's the way we roll around here, Christian.
Yeah, okay.
And Grant Lankard, good morning to you. Glad to see you. And I didn't realize there was a guest. I didn't either till about 5 minutes before the show. And I'm like, well, crap, I got it down my notes. I didn't look at them. Sorry about that. Anyway, and we're going to get through your comments. And we just had another comment dump here, but we're going to get to people. That's the one thing about StreamYard is that you go and you think you caught up, then all of a sudden, you know. So anyway, Bill Sarn, TGIF Nevermorians. Yes, thank goodness it is Friday, and Joe is back in the cereal box on YouTube. Glad to see you. Good morning, Multiverse. JohnPica.com. Good to see you. And BrianRodman.com. Check him out. Good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. Let us shake the dust of this week from our pantaloons and grab the weekend by the earlobes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, there you go. Now, I got to ask Brian a simple question here. Has he ever actually worn pantaloons? Because I have.
I can't say that I have.
What about Brian Rodman? Do you think he has?
I don't know. We're not even sure he's got anything on below the waist.
I don't need to know that this morning. I haven't had the coffee strong enough yet.
That's true. Well, if you like your coffee, I can recommend some merchandising. Hashtag always promote.
Yeah, amen to that.
Oh, such a whore I am. Anyway, good morning, Joe McGill, and you two get our rooms. This is what it's like when Jerome and I get together. We get nostalgic, and y'all are going to have to deal with it.
This is why I'm not on the show that often,
Well, we can change that, brother. We can change that. And these people are probably going, "Oh, thank God, an adult," not realizing. Not realizing. And XG Studio morning, all morning, Brian. Good morning to you, Joe D. McPhee. Glad to see you here as always. And boy, this striptease is off to a slow start. Well, just get those singles ready. It'll pick up soon.
Yeah.
And Amy Hale, glad to see you. Wow. And don't forget, Monday, February 4th, Creative As Hale is going to relaunch a brand new series of talks with creative people. And I will be having the pleasure of being her first in the new season. Looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Yeah. She writes great books. Check her out on Amazon too.
Okay.
Carl Witzman says, I would agree on viewing Shakespeare first. He meant for them to be performed, not read.
Here's the funny thing, Carl. Okay. Again, I got to go back and name drop my ex-wife. Because the high school English, the honeymoon was in England. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, no. For an English teacher, it was great. And for a history buff, such as myself.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. And what we ended up doing was one of those, those tours, you get on the bus for the weekend, you need everybody. They made a comedy movie about that in the 60s. But we ended up at Stratford upon Avon, which was fabulous. And there's an antique shop there that could have taken my mortgage money. That was so great. But we ended up in London 2 weeks before the Globe Theater opened.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I walked in where the groundlings would be, and I could see how Shakespeare was done. And Doctor Who episode did a really good episode there, and Shakespeare in Love is also very good about how to see the Shakespeare as it was done originally. Now, I'm going to confess, because statutes of limitations have expired, I did steal a piece of the thatch from the roof as a souvenir. So,
blame you.
I don't think I'm going to get extradited, but I just want to make sure we're going to keep this among ourselves, right?
There we go. Yeah, nobody watches this show. So yeah, you're safe here. You can confess all your sins. In fact, we've got Carl Witzman is the Dark Pope of the Dark Church of the Rising Tide, so he will be hearing confessions later, and you can also get a DVD of them when you're done.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, and I know the series you're talking about, On the Buses, Reg Varney.
Yep. No, if it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That was the movie. I was thinking of the BBC TV series.
Yeah.
I love that show. I seriously love that show. And Comics Talk with Pop and Zant. Good morning, Nevermorians. Good morning to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And he says Pops because it's right. And Brian Wensloff. Hello, Jerome Connor.
Good morning, Brian. Always glad to see you.
Yeah, check out
he's like family now.
That's true. Yeah, and I've been kind of quasi adopted into the hanging with web show people. So you guys will let anyone in.
Yeah, where you will. Look, they let me in, so I don't know.
Point taken. But anyway, Molly Daniels is yawning. Good morning. Stayed up too late last night. Enjoyed you on the SCS Wednesday. Well, cool. And Mark Learned, who we've been friends since 6th grade, says I enjoy teaching Shakespeare.
Oh, it's fabulous.
It really is, and you really get to appreciate, the fact that like was mentioned, a 4-hour movie. Shakespeare. I kind of compare him to like Chinese opera, in which you went to a show, you planted your butt in the seat.
Oh yeah,
because he didn't exactly write for the hoi polloi.
Oh no, he wrote for the people standing there. And think about it, you stand there listening and watching this play for 4 freaking hours.
You worked hard to get whatever it took to get in there, and so he made sure you got your money's worth.
Oh yeah,
you leave that place exhausted emotionally. So, and wait, we can comment on this show. Don't get so cocky there.
Yeah, come on, kid.
Yeah, really. What you're dealing with here. And Carl Westwood, Christian, I'm cool. I'm saving my energy for the green room anyway. Yes, Jerome, we ought to get you in. Are you on Uncle Carl's secret humor page?
No, I haven't. I didn't even know there was a secret humor page.
Well, you see, you're the only person that's been a secret from. This is the worst. Julian Assange is not the one revealing this sort of thing. But no, it's every Friday night, a bunch of us get together on one of the, there's the secret humor group, and we get together on Friday evenings around 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time, and basically just kind of let our hair down, such as it may be.
Well, I'm with you right there, my friend,
Yeah, that's true. All the cool kids, that's the haircut we have. But anyway, it's a very relaxed atmosphere, shall we say, and what happens in the green room usually stays in the green room, and for good reason.
Okay.
Just letting you know. And the thing is, you have to have a good sense of humor, and you must be unoffendable. Yeah, I figure I'm talking to the poster child here. I love the one with Bobby Knight where he threw the chair at the Purdue games as Molly Daniels. Oh, I remember that. That was great.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, and Michaela hasn't gotten dressed yet. Fox News alert.
There's, again, so many directions I could go on this one about 1999 for the first half hour. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. 1999 for the first half hour, $2.99 for every minute afterwards. And Mary Dumas says,
hey, I know Mary. Mary lives near me. Mary and I are really friends.
She's a delight. I love her.
She is. She's fun.
She is. And
you know what? And I got to give a shout out to Mary for a second.
Please.
Okay. Mary does art with fabric, and she's got a page, and she gifted me and my wife 2 of the most wonderful bags for cons that you could ever imagine. And I just want to say, if you're looking for a bag to carry swag from, go see Mary's page of her bags. Oh man, I have carried more swag especially when I was at New York Comic Con. And if it hadn't been for Mary's bag, I would not have come home with the wonderful swag that I had. I love Mary. She's great. I've known her kids for a long time. Wonderful people. Just can't say enough good things about her, That's
true. She's very creative. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And no Trevor Hawkins. Bobby Nash isn't the only one who says the S word, whichever one you're thinking of. And, and update: 3 plumes equals 3 engines for 3 seconds. Time to fly that puppy. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta talk with Joe Dog here and find out which one we're talking about. If we're talking the Artemis or what he's talking about.
Oh yeah.
I had an I'm gonna have to jump over it because I want to show you something later for Joe Dog. I was friends with the publisher of the NASA mission reports. Yeah, wonderful guy. Big music fan also. And I walked in at Worldcon in LA. This had to have been about 10, 15 years ago. And I swear it's like, how the story is, Brian, that the con artist sees his mark across the room and he knows he's going to make the money. Yeah. I swear he saw me and he knew. Because he immediately, before I even got to the table, he reaches under the table and hands me the mission report on the Saturn V. And they had a party of all the surviving engineers. And they had all signed the inside cover. And I just went, here's the credit card, take my money.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I'd have been the same way. OMG.
you know. Yeah.
Oh,
So I
man.
think, Joe Dog, I got to talk with him. Definitely, he and I can talk. I've met a few people. He might be interested.
You'll love Joe Dog. He is fantastic.
Excellent.
And speaking of fantastic, we finally got to
Ryan, my buddy.
Yeah, good morning, Nevermorians. How are you? We are excellent. Hope you're doing the same. It's finally happened. The Brian and Jerome Show. we kept teasing that on the Reels and Heels one day. There's the Star Trek movies, and overall, my favorite is First Contact. That's a good choice. What's your favorite Star Trek movie? And you can answer by joining his Patreon today. Don't forget, Patreon is a very happy home to several of us, including me. And so please check out put in your Patreon links if you got them, here, friend.
So answer Ryan's question. What's your favorite?
Oh wow, mine is probably number 4.
Okay,
where they go back in time to save the whales. That because my favorite episode of Star Trek Classic is The Trouble with Tribbles, because I love that balance of humor with a very, very serious story going on around it, and great characterization. And 4 just really harkens back to those days. Although 2 and the Wrath of Khan and 6 are nipping at its heels.
Number 6 is my favorite.
Yeah,
simply because it does to me what a Star Trek has always been powerful about, which is it puts a modern day event into a science fiction environment so that you can safely talk about it without being uncomfortable. And the episode Let's This Be Your Last Battlefield is a classic example. Little ham heavy, but with the whole racism aspect. But again, a safe environment for them to have conversations. And that's what I love about Star Trek.
Yeah, same here. And I love the fact that Star Trek is, at the end of the day, it always is telling you, we'll get through it.
We will survive the big bomb,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, Star Trek 6 is good for only Nixon could go to China.
That's true.
I was in the theater and I saw that movie and I heard that line and I had the same reaction you just did. It's like, oh my God, that is so profound.
And the only other thing that I have to add that I loved was come on, how many of us want to drink the Romulan ale now? The fluorescent blue. Exactly. I'm right there with you.
And I want a bottle of your finest green too.
Okay.
That's the sort of thing. It's like one day I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about alcohols, and we were talking about absinthe. You can get that phony absinthe here in America, but you have to go overseas to get the stuff that
you got to go to France for the really good stuff.
Right? Yeah, you get the stuff that destroys your brain cells and rewrites your DNA. And we're both like, that stuff sounds totally dangerous. We don't do drugs. We don't overindulge in alcohol. But we're like, we might take a chance on that because that just sounds right on the edge of dangerous.
Because I'm not a heavy drinker. I've experimented like any other person has. But I seem to remember that they would soak a sugar cube or something and then light the damn thing on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and I figured that's kind of like pouring the perfect Guinness. There's a ceremony to it. It's like, how can you not like this?
Oh yeah.
So anyway, we're glad you're here, Ryan, to referee. And Ninja Ganko, the F-23 was interesting. Bert Ninja, glad you're here on YouTube. That was, yeah. And Joe Dog says vintage space. Amy is a pinup girl for the 21st century.
Oh, then he knows vintage space. Excellent.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
And Grant Lankert is liked on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grant.
It does. We do appreciate that. That helps us so very much. Believe me. And good morning to you, Ninja Ganko. Glad to see you here. And I'm back in the stereo box. John B. Pica is saying I'm working on part 2 of our Bowling Green, Kentucky road trip. We are looking for other cool places to visit and need some killer recommendations. You're not that far from Metropolis, Illinois, just off Route 24.
That's a really great place to go.
Oh man, yeah. It's like you look up Superman Celebration, you're likely to find me in way too many pictures. Until last year,
I've never been.
Oh, you've got to go. You would so love it. The Superman Museum's the best $5 you can spend.
I'm on their Facebook page. I follow them on the Facebook.
Oh, tell Morgan you know me that.
I got to tell you, I'm a comic book collector, like most geeks, and over the years, I haven't gone that far. I'm a clean canvas. So over the years, like all comic book fans, you run across great deals that you just can't walk away from. One of them for me was I got the first appearance of Supergirl. And
nice.
the funny thing is my wife's name is Kara. Exactly.
Wow.
So over the years, I've also gotten artists to draw pictures of Supergirl in honor of my wife. But I've also got the first appearance of Red Kryptonite.
Oh yeah.
Which is funny because it was the Kryptonite in this story is aware.
Yes. I remember that story. I remember that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You ought to go, especially during Superman Celebration. Now it's kind of iffy whether they're going to have one this year too.
They're not going to have one this year. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, Southern Illinois is a petri dish now.
Because I don't know about you, but I don't have Kryptonian white blood cells.
I don't either. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a bad reaction to the flu shot this year, so I'm a little leery of when your temperature goes from normal to 102.9 in 20 minutes, something's
I'll get the eggs. We'll just cook them right on you.
Yeah, I think that's what I need. But I've met three Superman down there.
Really?
From the movies, and also one guy I'm friends with. He doesn't go every year. His father-in-law was Dick Dillon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've only met one Superman.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was Dean Cain.
I've met him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He blessed my daughter when she was in vitro.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but I've met a ton of the writers. I was fortunate enough to sit with Julius Schwartz at an event, and he and I had a chance to talk. I've met so many of the writers and artists, and they are so much fun. If you ever get a chance to, especially and I highly recommend people here listening, when you go to these conventions, volunteer. Okay. And volunteer. And if you go to one for a while, if you volunteer like 3 or 4 years, they move you up to things like guest handling. And if you get to guest handle, you get to sit behind the table or stand behind the table with them. And either they'll give you like something or they'll talk to you and tell you stuff you never knew. And oh my God, some of the things that have happened and talked about, it's worth your time and energy because of what you got. I got to sit behind the table with Denny O'Neil.
Oh, what a great guy. I've met him on several occasions. Got to interview him for Back Issue magazine.
Oh, was a wonderful guy. Very understanding. Really told really great stories. I am so sorry he is gone.
That hurt.
Yeah, that did.
Fantastic.
But anyway, so as we went off onto a bizarre tangent again.
That's okay. Julie Schwartz and I almost gave each other a concussion one time.
Oh.
At the old Chicago con, somebody came up dressed as the original Enchantress from Strange Adventures.
Oh.
And Julie and I were both like doing this.
Yeah. Did you get whiplash?
Hitting each other in the skull. And,
did you get whiplash?
Pretty much. Yeah, we just gave each other this when we realized we just bolted back and we gave each other that we shall never speak of this again look.
Well,
so
I was at Boston at the World Science Fiction Convention. It was the Hugo Awards. Yeah. Here comes this guy. He's wearing a tie and he's got a Superman clip. And I did a double take, and then I looked at the name and I went, "Oh my God, Julius Schultz! Oh my God!" Because I'm a huge Flash fan also. And I went up to Mr. Schultz and I said, "Can I have your autograph?" And he goes, "No, it's Julius." And I went, "Okay."
Well, yeah, that's it. I always found him to be a friendly guy.
He was. He's dynamite.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, but the stories you come back with from conventions, those are the best. Remind me after the show. I'll tell you my Stan Lee story.
Oh, I got a few of those too.
Oh my God, he's great. And Michaela Jade says, "Hey guys, don't forget I'm on the lookout for editing work. As is Carly. Glad to see you here.
Excellent.
And Christian Basil, Romper Room, precursor to Alexa stalking your home. That's true. That's true. And Joe Dog, you'll also like him. He also knows how to torment your Alexa if you have one.
Good thing I don't have many of them.
Yeah. One night I had my wife's Kindle here, which had Alexa on it, and Joe Dog was saying, Alexa, go into red alert, and then it gives you hear this klaxons from Star Trek, and putting up shields now, sir, sort of thing, and he was finished for 5 minutes, and of course, stupid me. Yeah, go for it.
Let's see here. Let's see if my daughter turned on Alexa. Nope, I can't.
Oh well,
she killed the battery.
Oh, then you're safe. No, Joe Dog was tormenting mine to the point where I'm screaming, "Shut the up, Alexa!" It never dawned on me to just pick up the damn thing and carry it into the next room where it couldn't hear me.
No, logic is not used around here.
No. That's the thing. You see it only on Star Trek, and that's it. This is the best episode since Brian went off. I would love to see the look on Ryan Permission's face. Yeah, it's probably we've got to show this one. It's probably very similar to this. And that's our own Christian Basil there.
We give Ryan grief, but Ryan is a really good guy, and he really knows his stuff. I got to say, for such a young kid, he really knows his stuff.
And he makes the effort to learn.
Exactly.
Highly.
Exactly.
Fantastic. I think the world of Ryan. I really do.
Great. Yeah.
He really is. Molly Daniels is on the look for an artist. Going to put out her first children's book, maybe too. So if you know anyone that does children's books illustrations, please contact Molly Daniels.
Yeah. Well, children's books illustrations can go the gambit.
Yeah.
From highly refined to very simple. So, I would say if you go to a local convention, find an unknown somebody who's selling illustrations who's not a pro yet. Mm-hmm. That would be the person that you talk to.
Yeah, definitely. Or, just if you do have some money to spend, contact an artist that you like, that you think would be appropriate. So,
yep.
And it's time for Joe Dog McKeel's Funnies. Now, adulthood is like looking both ways before you cross the street and then getting hit by an airplane.
There's a phrase that says, someday my ship will come in and then I'll be at the airport.
Yeah. Or one I saw in the old episode of The Saint about something about it could be raining milk and honey and I'll be standing there with a fork.
I'm right there with you. Adulthood, here we go. Adulthood is when you realize that you have to get up every day and decide what 3 meals a day you're going to make.
Ooh,
that
sounds cruel. And Back of the Cereal Box says if Jerome wants to take a trip back to nostalgic times, he needs to check out Back of the Cereal Box.
Wait a minute. It's not nostalgia times. That's my childhood.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, what was it? There was an old line on Mary Tyler Moore where she had just gotten back from talking to some people a little bit younger than her, and she made the mention that their nostalgia was my childhood. So
that's what I'm thinking. And so Back of the Cereal Box, is that a podcast also? Or
yes, it is on YouTube on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Notice I know all these things better than I know.
The problem is 9 a.m. is my show.
Ah, there you go.
So I would have too much fun with these guys, and then I'd miss my show.
And what show is that, Jerome? Would be
Saturday morning cartoons, and on the Hanging with Web show. And wait a minute, we have a mild guest. Say hi to my daughter.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi. How are you?
That's Gwendolyn. She's taking a little break from school today.
Good morning, Gwendolyn.
Snack time. Yeah, to be young again. It's at 9:00. It's on the Hanging with Web show network. Saturday morning cartoons. We cover the gambit from the 1950s right up until the very last Saturday morning cartoon in 2014.
There you go.
So, and if you remember as a kid, okay, you got up in the morning and what did you do? You didn't even put clothes on. You were still in your PJs, right?
Yeah.
You snuck into the kitchen because mom and dad were still asleep.
Yep.
You'd pour that ultra sugary cereal and milk, and you would plop yourself down in front of the TV. Yeah. And you would go the 3 different networks.
Yep.
And we've done a show on those sugary cereals.
Oh my God. And that's what Back of the Cereal Box does too. They eat cereal while they discuss all things from our youthful days.
Oh, it sounds like fun.
Oh, what you did there, John.
Yeah, all right.
Definitely check that all out. And Back of the Cereal Box, also says, and there came a day, unlike any other day, when the question was asked, wouldn't it be cool if we could get a group of our best friends together, eat big bowls of cereal, and talk pop geek culture? Well, you see, then watch back in the cereal box at 8, then flip on over to Jerome's show on the Hanging with Web show network, and your Saturday mornings, it'll be like you're a child once again.
Especially if a child in the 1960s and 70s, because that was when the height of it all was.
Oh my God, yeah! Back when when Kellogg's and all those people actually bragged about all the huge amount of sugar in their cereal.
Oh yeah,
it used to be sugar pops, people, not honey pops. Honey's for women.
That's right.
Honey's what you call your girlfriend. And Lacey Lampy, good morning, darling. Glad you're here. And Lacey's going to be the guest on Clever Title Pending this coming Tuesday.
Excellent.
So check it out, and also check out Dope Bunny and Clive on Facebook. That's her humor page there, and she also writes some great stuff. Check her out on Amazon as well. And okay, last time I will not mention the Cheesecake Factory meatloaf again. Yes, Joe Dog on his show yesterday on lunchtime at the Doghouse at 12:05 Tuesdays and Thursdays, # always promote, part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. He showed a picture of what Cheesecake Factory was alleging to be meatloaf. It looked like some sort of meat product, but meatloaf my backside.
You know, I a number of years ago when I was working for a certain copier company.
Oh yes, the same letter at both ends of the word.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I was had to go fix a machine in a Cheesecake Factory before they opened it. You know, they were just hiring, and I didn't eat there after that.
Yeah, that he showed me a picture, and you know how they try to make the food look so incredibly beguiling.
Yeah.
Oh, total fail on this. You ought to check out the show. We had a good, I'm there making comments. I wasn't on the show proper, but I'm like, what the hell is that? That is not meatloaf.
So what are you telling me? If they applied lightning, it would have come to life?
I don't even know if lightning and soaking in those chemicals for a month would have brought this thing back to life. It looked more like the singer with onions on top than it did the actual food product.
Okay.
And Carl Wisman said the Eldridge meatloaf will haunt Joe forever. Love that Nick used that word on Stupid O'Clock last night. And
that's good.
Rocker Doubt said, and Aubrey Greenberg had to say hello. Mwah, love you, hon. Hope you're doing well. Okay. And we're going to give you an education this morning, Jerome. Well, we got all kinds of programming for you to watch, like the Dastardly Dingoes. And Brian, you really ought to have Jerome on your show too. You can see what a calming influence he is.
And this is no alcohol is involved whatsoever in this show.
Yeah, it's like the only thing I've got going is this, and I'm not saying I'm addicted, but
yeah. I drank my tea before I came on the show, so
Oh yeah, well, hope you have your pod catheter in, as all good podcasters should. That's from Carl Witzman Industries. But anyway, Brian Rodman, and this is a great show, actually. The Dastardly Dingoes podcast, season 3 begins, and it's got a lot of exclamation marks, so you know it's true. We will be interviewing the illustrious J.D. Calderon and his amazing adventures as an indie creator. Tune in or perish. See, your choices are simple. Catch up on season 2 at that address there. Check out the Dastardly Dingoes on Facebook and on YouTube. It is a fun show. I've been on it a couple times, and I had a blast. Here we go. Brian Rodman says, I am wearing pantaloons right now, Jerome, for your pleasure and enjoyment. He's also ribbed for the same reason. Close-up pics are now in your inbox. So.
All right, I'll have to go. Now, you realize, of course, Brian, that now that you've sent me those pictures, I will be selling them on the internet as a profit motive here for myself. So
there you go. See, Brian, it's the gift that keeps on giving. and Skunk Rocker says, if he keeps showing up the stupid o'clock, I'm going to have to add him to the intro. Yeah, you get a lot of hangers on there, I'm telling you. And maybe put a occasional guest at the end.
Oh no. You remember? Okay, so kids, let me give you a little history lesson. In the 1960s and 70s, there were a series of TV shows, and they were called Barnaby Jones, and what was the There was a whole canon, and it was a Quinn Martin
production.
Right. And it would always be special guest star. Not guest star, but a special guest star. And that got brought over into the 1990s when Melrose Place was on, and Heather Locklear was even though she was a regular, she was always listed as a special guest star.
Yeah, and I think Martin Landau, I think the first season of Mission Impossible, the TV show, listed as a special guest star.
So instead of occasional guest, we make you a special guest star.
There we go. See, problem solved even before you knew it was a problem.
There you go.
And Scott Crocker says, Carl, can you have Sarah beat my speech to text into submission and learn that I'm speaking? That's the kind of English I understand.
Yeah.
And Nick Tockard falls into the and others category for now. Yeah, Nick is such a shy, retiring guy. Check out his broadcast tonight on YouTube, the Historical Fencing Guild, where he talks about how to kill each other safely with bladed weapons.
I used to be a member of a historical sword guild up here. We had a museum called the Higgins Armory, and I learned some of the German fighting called Meyer.
Oh yeah.
And I learned how to fight with that, and I got pretty good at it until the divorce happened, and then things changed. But historical sword fighting is interesting because of all the different ways you can die.
And Nick's written a really good reference book called The Simple Sword, available on Amazon.
Excellent.
Yeah, Nick Tockard he's genius, and we had him on Clever Title Pending one night, and I practically walked away, and no one would notice. Because he took over and he's high energy. He drinks this stuff that I think they only put if they put it in one of the NASA rockets right now, Elon Musk would save so much money on fuel. You could just pour a couple cups in the gas tank. You could put a much bigger payload on those things.
Yeah.
So Carl Witzman, who is the Dark Pope of the Dark Church of the Rising Tide, is going to put the Dark Mistress Sarah on that immediately. She's in charge of punishment.
I'm happily married.
I am too, but I'm not letting that stop me. But anyway, you gotta pick your battles, and Sarah's Yeah, and fortunately, my wife likes Sarah, so it works out. And Comic Talk with Pops Van Sant, to tweet or not to tweet? That is the question that I have to beat. See, he's got the iambic pentameter.
There you go. He's ready to go.
He is so Shakespearean here. And Joe Dog McKeel, a baby's laughter is the most wondrous thing you will ever hear, unless you're home alone at 3 a.m. and you don't have a baby.
Here's the thing. Hang on a second. The wife is offering me temptation here. That one. Okay. So as a parent,
don't give me any context. Just let my imagination.
Okay. As a father, I don't care what baby or not baby. You hear that laughter at 3 a.m. in the morning, you're still going, oh God, really?
Yeah. And I'm thinking you also, if you hear it from your Kindle.
From my Kindle, there's other reasons going on.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen those videos on YouTube where it's in the middle of the night, there's Alexa going.
There used to be an Alexa before they got rid of it. You used to be able to ask Alexa where to hide a body.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm going to try.
And it would tell you places like cemeteries and marshes and metallurgy places. I'm going, wow, somebody thought this through.
Yeah, I got in a conversation one time at a gaming store where we got to talking about, for some reason, hiding dead bodies. And I studied to be a pathologist. Plus, I am a fiction writer. Plus, I work for a cemetery. And so I was going, well, here are ways you can at least put off the authorities by doing this and this. And I'm looking at these widening eyes as I'm going into glorious details about how to dispose of bodies.
Disposing of bodies easy.
Yeah, that's the easy part. It's getting away after that. The way CSI works nowadays, don't try it, kids. Just give up.
Yeah, don't try this at home. We're professionals.
Exactly. Yeah, and I got to tell you, I've also gotten into the scam shows where they call the New Delhi and all these places and keep the people online and bewilder them.
Yeah.
And even try to slip in sys keys when they take over. They think they take over your computer. And there is one where this one girl was going after somebody who was basically taking deposits on Craigslist and then vanishing with the money.
Right.
And so she concocted this elaborate scam. It's IRL Rosie. She's great. And at one point she actually gets the landlord and says, well, I understand it's got a basement. And he's like, yeah, it's got a basement. When are you sending my money? Oh, yeah, you'll get it soon. Listen, I've got a problem here. How many bodies do you think it holds? And he's like, probably quite a few. Why? And I'm killing Jerome here. I'm sorry.
That's funny. That is great.
Oh, it was great. And she's going into more detail, like, is it well ventilated? Do you think the smell would like get out and stuff? And then she says towards the end, well, you see, I had to do it because I found out it was some guy that was scamming my mom. And so he like hangs up, and just imagine he's evacuating at that moment.
Oh, yeah.
And Carl Westman says, you can invite him into Uncle Carl's secret humor group, and I will do just that. We've been on a recruitment bevy lately, and I will have to bring Jerome into that. And and we're glad you appreciate that. And Brian Wenzoff says, I must say I really like the new Walker. They actually did a good reboot of the show and took it in a way I didn't expect. It's definitely worth the watch. I'll take the new Walker Texas Rangers seriously when they spin off a Sammo Hung show from it.
Never watched the original, and I ran out of the room when it was on last night because my wife is a huge Supernatural fan. And she constantly runs the series through on different streaming or on the DVD set I've gotten her, and I'm tired of looking at those boys. I'm just like,
evidently she's not.
No. I'm like, enough already, hun.
Yeah. Give unto us the break.
Yeah.
Brian Rahman says, my 12th grade English teacher taught Shakespeare so well. It's because of her that I absolutely love and understand Shakespeare. She taught the culture and language of his time. Yes. And then would perform the plays as a class. My two male friends and I were the witches in Macbeth, just as it was back in those days.
Yeah.
We turned it into a comedy. Oh my God, that's the thing. A good instructor will turn you around. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife said to me when I was struggling to understand some of the stuff she's teaching, she said, look, it's a tragedy if there's a funeral, it's a comedy if there's a wedding. Yeah. And I said, well, what about Romeo and Juliet? And she says, he was on drugs that day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think of all of his plays that I've seen, Romeo and Juliet, to me, is the weakest. Maybe it's because it's been.
Oh, no. My ex-wife said, look, Romeo and Juliet is great for teaching to high schoolers because there's so much innuendo in there, some really naughty innuendo in there, especially if you pay attention to Nurse.
That's true. That's
okay,
true.
Nurse is getting it on with a number of people, and she talks about that.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Okay. Yeah, it went over my head in high school, and probably thank God for that. Maybe my teacher might have gotten interested in it.
There you go.
Yeah, and hey, some of the cool kids have enough hair for you, too. Yeah. Pops Van Zandt does have an abundance of follicle stuff. So anyway, and Mary DeMoss said, hi, Jerome. Greetings to you, to your wife and little girl.
Hi, Mary.
And Lacey Lemke would go see a play about just the witches, especially if it was a comedy. Yeah.
People have done spin-offs of Shakespeare before as a play.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
Right. Yeah.
There's all sorts of other things that they could have done, but there's nothing like the classics, the original.
Oh yeah. What about like Kiss Me Kate?
I've actually never seen Kiss Me Kate.
That's wonderful. That is a wonderful show. And actually, there's an old episode of the great detective series Moonlighting from the 80s.
And it was Taming of the Shrew. And there's a Star Trek actor in there.
Yes. Oh God, I can't remember which one, but no.
Miles O'Brien.
Oh, that's right.
He plays one of the suitors.
That's true. I forgot that.
Now,
yeah.
Because of shows like that. Okay, I go back and watch the originals, of Shakespeare. And there's nothing better in a Shakespeare than watching Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton do Taming of the Shrew.
Oh, my God, yeah. I talk about, I've done some acting. I've got my IMDb page. And it's like there are times when you see an actor pulling something from their very soul.
Oh, yeah.
And those two were,
Yeah.
It came out on
They
the
didn't.
screen.
They
It's
didn't have
beautiful.
to stretch on that one.
Oh God, no! All they had to do was memorize words. They had the motivation. So, and Rick Bradley says, "Good morning, Nevermorians. Good morning to you, superstar. Hope you're doing well." Christian Basil says, "Jerome, the Globe Theater just called me and said you bitch." And here we go. Mary DeMoss said, "And I made Romeo X Julian LGBTQ Shakespeare. Rock on, girl."
It is. It's her online comic strip, and that she put into a graphic novel. I've got the first volume. It is really good. And shameless plug, I recommend people go look it up.
Shameless plug. Put in a link to that, Mary, please.
Yeah, Mary,
all
if you could.
And here we go. Joe Dog McKeel asks, "Ever lay a book on your laptop keyboard and get pissed because it is taking forever to boot up? Asking for a friend."
Yep.
You know what I hate is when I'm in Facebook and I put the cursor inside the in the comment thing, and then I've laid something down on the keyboard, and suddenly one letter is just like into eternity.
I put these headphones on there like that. When my daughter needs something, and I come back and I've written half the works of Shakespeare.
Yeah. I am the infinite number of monkeys and the infinite number of typewriters. So, Brian Rodman says, "Well, if you love Shakespeare, this is nothing like it. The Nebulizer is about a chronic asthmatic and his feisty AI-controlled nebulizer suit as they fight through a post-apocalyptic world filled with allergen mutants. It's Bubble Boy meets Mad Max, coming to Kickstarter this spring. Updates on BrianRodman.com. Also, Brian Rodman's on Patreon, along with John B. Pica and myself and Amy Hale and a number of great creatives. Please check it out. And I am talking about SpaceX Starship Sur and the Voyage Home. Very good. That was my favorite movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of my heroes from the 70s has just passed.
Oh, who's that?
Hank Aaron.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry to put us in a downer moment, but I just got a next thing.
Oh no, that's
yeah, we'll talk about him later, I'm sure.
But, no doubt. What a
all right, so Voyage Home, huh?
Voyage Home, love that movie. And as he and Jerome work the digital polls, get your singles ready, kids.
Yeah,
Head on over to patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. And viciously shove dollar bills down his pantaloons as he creates amazing content for us all to enjoy and be inspired by. Thank you, Brian Rodman. Thank you.
Excellent.
We're
good.
Yeah, we just posted the 8th chapter of our brand new flash fiction first draft novel.
Excellent.
I'm normally an outliner, but we're flying without any sort of protection now, especially pants. And Brian Rodman says, "Brian on absinthe, film at 11." It's probably true. I'm just worried that I'll drink absinthe, get the brain damage, and no one will notice.
You'll see the magic fairy.
Yes, I will. I'll be chasing it down Main Street with my pantaloons. And speaking of pantaloons, there's Sarah. Mwah, good morning to you, darling. Hope
morning,
you're doing well this morning. And back in Sarah Box, John B. Pica will be in Artist Alley at Superman Celebration, so it is on the list. Well, let's hope it is Southern Illinois. And Carl Westman says, "Sarah, we have a mission for the Dark Mistress. We need you to beat skunks." Oh, I mean, voice to text until it submits. I was willing to stop right there. And Christian Basil's now going to ignore us now that Sarah's in the room. And please, everyone, get the vaccine so we can return to normal.
Amen.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. I'm going to get mine when Cookie can get hers, though. So, and preach it, Brother Pica. Amen, Joe Dog. And the Altar Boy and the Dark Pope are getting greeted there. Carl Witzman says, "I can't wait to get a vaccine. This needs to be over." Yeah, seriously. And for people who won't take the vaccine, simmer in heck. And also we got to get that herd immunity so we can keep even the idiots safe.
Well, let's talk for a second, if I may.
Please.
There's a number at the beginning of this whole pandemic. The wife and I had gotten free access to the Great Courses series. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Oh yes.
And they had a 12 class on the Black Death.
Ooh.
And I cannot say that I mean, it was a little dry. I'm not going to deny it. But I learned so much just by watching that. And now I watch this plague. And you can see similarities. And so, I recommend, if nothing else, just for the education alone, so that you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So, that's my 30-second plug for that.
Oh, no. I get it. And there was also one, and I wish I could remember the channel, but it was a series of 3 infographic cartoons on the 1920 Spanish flu pandemic.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember. Yeah, I think was that the infographics channel on Facebook?
I think that might have been. It was the infographics channel. You're right.
And you know what's funny is you and I are old enough to remember polio problems.
Yes, I went to school with somebody who had it and was on crutches. Yeah,
I actually, because my mom was a nurse, I saw those iron lungs up close and personal, and nobody wants that again.
Yeah.
Okay, as someone who saw it. And when my daughter was born about 8 years ago, there was a resurgence of whooping cough.
I remember that, yes.
And people were getting it for the first time who had never, I don't need it. And then they would get it and their ribs would either be broken or hurt from coughing so hard. Yeah. So vaccinations work, folks. Okay. It's the reason why we don't have smallpox anymore.
Yeah.
So
measles or polio, those are now no longer considered.
No. Polio is making a comeback because people are not taking the vaccine. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So, and I gotta say, I remember now that measles was having a resurgence in the Northwest because they were following
certain religious groups.
Yeah, and Dr. Jenny McCarthy too.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So if anybody tells you that vaccines are bad or it gives you autism, you have my permission to slap them upside the head.
Mine too.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be great if someone actually did have a cure for autism and it was an inoculation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be perfect irony.
The problem is they're finding more and more that autism is a genetic disease.
Exactly.
And you can't. There's whole aspects of that which we shouldn't really get into in this show. But that's for a science show.
That is. Yeah.
All right. So we got our
public message is get your damn vaccine.
Exactly.
And wash your hands and everything. Don't listen. If you see it on the interwebs, question it, then go to scientists because remember, they didn't listen to Jor-El and look what happened.
You got a point there.
See, that's the example I use, and I shut up anti-maskers every time with that. So feel free to use that, people. And Joe Dog McKeel says, I decided one morning to make sure my wife woke up with a smile on her face. Also, I'm not allowed to have Sharpies anymore.
Hey, Joe Dog, you know that the Sharpies come in multiple colors now. Okay, so you can have a lot more fun with instead of just that. What's your wife's name?
Cookie.
Run, don't look back.
That's what her mother said at the wedding. And back in the cereal box, Dean Kane, our co-host Deep RT, had an inappropriate encounter with him at Wizard World. She now has a restraining order against her.
Ooh.
Congratulations, D. And here we go. Sarah's getting into it. Guest handling. That sounds dirty. Well, it depends on the guest.
Depends upon the guest. Depends upon the convention. Depends upon how much alcohol was involved.
That's true. We can get you a list of people that I've heard about. And back in the cereal box, speaking of nostalgia, yesterday, Mark Wilson, the creator and star of the TV show The Magic Land of Alakazam, died yesterday. Mark Wilson was also the magic consultant on The Magician with Bill Bixby.
Oh, I remember that show. Oh, my God, that was great.
I love that show. That's a shame about Mark Wilson. And I think his wife then at the time, I think they've gotten a divorce, was also his assistant. She was an attractive lady too. And Nick Tockert of the Historical Fencing Guild. Good morning, Nevermorians, Clever Morians. What an exciting mooring show. Well, you're here, brother, so we have you to help make it so. This is the gentleman, the Simple Sword, and the Historical Fencing Guild. And Amy Hale, I miss conventions so much. I think we all do. We really,
There's a show tonight that I'll be on with Mark B. Lee off of his channel. We're going to talk about conventions and what we miss about conventions right now.
Oh man!
And I'll tell you the biggest thing I miss the hugs.
Yeah.
I miss my friends. I'm a hugger. If I were to run into you at a convention, Brian, you'd get a hug whether you want one or not.
Oh, brother, you get double back.
Yeah,
I am notorious on the con circuit for my hugs.
Yeah. I mean, I miss just sitting in a corner and talking with friends.
Yeah. Well, and I have I had an aggressive personal appearance schedule. Every year, and last year was kind of a blow for me too, because because it's the after hours stuff. Going out to the restaurants and hanging out for forever. At one point this year, a group of us, Carl and Carly and Molly and Michaela and another writer, we all converged on my house. We had Michaela Con. Because we all knew we were taking the proper precautions, and we went out for lunch and we did the masking thing and everything, stayed safe, and but we just all needed that so desperately.
I met both my wives at a convention, and my current wife, we met at a convention. I was cosplaying a World War I British flyer. I had a dress uniform because Harry Turtledove was the guest. So if you haven't read Harry Turtledove,
you got it for Harry Turtledove. Yes.
So a friend of mine had cosplayed me the dress uniform, an RAF officer, and my wife comes up to me and she looks at me and she goes, "Nice buttons," because there were those gold buttons, and we ended up chatting for over 6 hours that night into the wee hours of the morning. And my ex-wife had given me my divorce paperwork 3 hours beforehand.
Oh, wow.
So you want to talk about synergy right there,
Oh, I hear you. It sounds like my first date with Cookie. We didn't plan on a date, and then we wound up spending like the next 15 hours together. So, yeah.
That's when that's the person for you.
Yeah. And I didn't realize it at the time, but during the course of the day, she met my mother. Cookie met my mother. And then my mom was in ill health at the time, so I'd visit her after that. And she'd be like, "Have you talked to Cookie today?" I'm like, "No, I'm here talking to you." And she's like, "Go home and talk to Cookie." I'm like, "She lives 4 hours away. I have to call her." "Call her. Go home. I'm here to visit you here in the hospital. Go." So of course she bribed my mom. We met. Mom was in the hospital, and Cookie also was a really good cook, and she brought some homemade potato bread.
Oh, that's just cheating.
I know. She gave it to Mom, and after that, it's like you feed like a stray dog or something. The dog shows up every day at your door, and next thing you know, Cookie, I can't complain. The results happen, so it's.
When I moved into this house, my wife and I hadn't been, we weren't living together or married yet. It was the time she met my father. And my father pulls her aside and looks at her and goes, "Jerome doesn't make very good decisions." I got told this, and I'm kind of thinking, now, was that an implication about my previous marriage, or was this an implication about the women I was dating post-marriage,
Yeah. I feel you, brother. I feel you on that one. So Rick Bradley did the Bitly thing, and his Amazon author page is bit.ly/R Bradley. Check that out. And back of the cereal box says, "I met Kurt Swan at the Mid-Ohio Comic Con in 1995, just before his death. He painted a Superman painting at the con, hosted by John Byrne. It sold for $25,000. Not surprised. I saw him at that convention. I saw him. I got a picture of him.
I am jealous. I wish I'd gotten a chance to meet Kurt Swan.
Yeah, me too. I got a picture of him and Murphy Anderson and Julie Schwartz at that same convention, and it's been reprinted several times by Tomorrow's publications.
Yeah, I have a negative side of John Byrne. I'm not a big fan of him as a person. His art is fabulous, but
yeah, he's an acquired taste. I always got along with him because you do the proper amount of kowtowing, and he just got to recognize that if you recognize that he is the smartest guy in the room, and he knows it. So it's all good. Next month comes the next installment of Memoirs of an Angel, a horror fantasy series about a ragtag group of infinite and finite beings who race through time and space to rescue a broken witch hunter from the clutches of the Dark Kingdom. It's Lord of the Rings meets The Exorcist. Join the adventure at brianrodman.com today. He's also posting pages of that on his Patreon page, so please check that out too. And
are we talking green pea soup there also?
No, not yet. I don't
Okay.
think. But the day is young. And
Okay.
Carl Whitman says, Mark Wilson died. Oh, no, I used to read his Magic magazine.
Yeah.
Yes, I may sell some issues of that around him. And Skunk Rocker says, I remember when I really used to be into nostalgia. And Trevor Hawkins says, you know what they say about nostalgia? It's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
And Skunk Rocker says, those cereals are so addictive. I mean, Sugar Smacks is right in the name. I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Brian Robbins can sneak into the kitchen, eat sugary cereal, and watch cartoons, then go to my office and make comics. I'm just a large 8-year-old with a mortgage.
Aren't we all?
Amen, brother. And Rick Radley, if you just want to check out the first book I've ever published, Marvin's Night Out, check it out at Marv's Night. Check out that bit.ly address. And check out also Kathy Jackson. Mwah! If you like inspirational romance with some spice to it, ooh la la, check out the work of Kathy Jackson on Amazon. Good to see you, darling. And see, she said so. Just check her out. Sometimes spicy romances. See, I wasn't lying to you, people.
Excellent.
I meant it. And Exegy Studio says, speaking of cereal, R.I.P. Fruit Brute, Sugar Smacks, Sugar Crisp, Fruit Island cereal, and ice cream cone cereal. You will be missed.
Some of those I never heard of, to be honest.
Oh my God. And the sad thing is I've heard of all of them. And Christian Basil says, wait, you want real cheesecake in your cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory? Picky, aren't you?
Yeah, I know.
Oh man. Yeah. That's for the moon. And no alcohol, says Carlene. Good thing we don't have that rule in the green room. Yeah, that's true. That's one thing about 2020. I have developed certain skills. You saw I put together my own graphic today, and my liver is about the size and density of a walnut now. And Brian Wesloff says, I like Cheesecake Factory, but there's a documentary about how fast food and restaurants make their food so perfect on the menu. Yeah, there's tricks to it. I've worked.
Oh yeah, and that got exposed back in the 70s. You know.
Oh yeah,
marbles and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's scary stuff. That's why I cook more at home now. And Anna Maria Salvaggio, mwah, darling, glad you're here. Good morning, Val and I are here. Party can start now. Oh hell yes. You probably hope you're enjoying so far having Jerome here. I am, that's for sure. And check out Anna Maria. She is on she is on Twitch TV as Remelian, and also on Patreon too. Check out her stuff. And yeah, the alcohols for clever tile pending in the green room is Uncle Carl's secret humor group, says Rick Radley. Yes. And Brian Robin simply wishes to have royalty pantaloon checks sent to him.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, you haven't lived until. And Carl Westman makes an observation that alcohol is almost a prerequisite for the green room. If not before, then afterwards. And if that were only a thing, hello, friend, darling. Mwah, so glad you and Val are here. Love you guys. Hope you are doing well. And Christian Basil, Sarah, I handle my guests well. Boom shakalaka.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And going past some other comments here, and it's really sad, says Skunk Rocker, that I know where Jerome is talking about, but only because Hagen's Armory is a location in Fallout 4, which takes place in Boston.
Actually, Higgins Army is in Worcester, which is central Massachusetts. So we need to make sure that that's correct. And unfortunately, the Higgins Army is no longer there. They went out of business, and all of their wonderful collection is now part of the Worcester Polytech Institute.
Oh, and remember, folks, if you're looking at Worcester, it's not how it's spelled. It's
no.
like, I learned that from living in the Northeast for that period of time. It's like, okay, you pronounce it Narragansett, you pronounce it Thames when you go down the main street in Newport, and you also call it Worcester. I'm like, what do you do with all the other
Worcester?
letters?
And you call and it's spelled like reading. You call it Reading.
Yes.
And a city that my brother lives in is if you pronounce it the way it's spelled, it's Haverhill. It's actually pronounced Haverhill.
Right.
Welcome to England.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and many of the streets in Newport at the time were the exact same width that they were in the 1770s.
Cowpath.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
go to downtown Gloucester. It's even worse.
Oh, never made it up to there. Did see. You'll appreciate this. I did see the house the Cowsills grew up in.
Okay.
My uncle made a point of, say, do you recognize this house? And I'm like, oh. And the thing is, John Cowsill, the drummer for that group, who's currently with the Beach Boys, he and I were born the exact same day.
Nice.
March 2nd, 1956. And Carly says, well, the green room did come out of the drunken rant. Many of us come out of the drunken rant too, but unable to operate a motor vehicle. And visiting my daughter once, says Joe Dog McKeel, I asked if she had a newspaper. She told me it's the 21st century. We don't buy newspapers. Here, use my new iPad. I can tell you this, that fly never knew what hit it.
You know what, Joe Dog? Here's the thing about that. When your daughter says we don't buy newspapers, go. What happens when your battery dies on your iPad?
Yeah.
I can still read my newspaper.
That's true. And
but I do love that fly thing. That was good.
That is funny. I thought it was going to lead up to something about one of his dogs. That's what I get for not reading ahead. And Anna Maria Salvaggio goes, I'm a sword girl. Fenced for years, throwing knives and axes, etc. Did it just get warm?
Jeez, it did. It got really warm in here. And Anne Marie, you got to see my house. It looks like a medieval armory.
Oh, my God. Yeah, and you got to talk to Nicholas Tockard. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. It's getting... Anyway, boom chicka wow wow. Joe Dog says, Rick Bradley, one night we thought our daughter was asleep. As we lay quiet around 1 a.m., our daughter giggled and it was still crazy creepy. I'm like, well, if she's possessed, she's possessed. I've watched enough horror to know better than to look.
You don't go into that room when that happens,
Yeah. Do you have that problem when you put the hat on her, or like on her Easter bonnet on your head, and she just her head spinning so fast you can't do it?
Spinning part yet, but we have gotten the projectile vomiting, so
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, Brian Rodman has some life advice for us. Where to hide a body. Bury the body in an abandoned field and then plant an endangered plant on top of the body. So it's illegal to dig it up. Follow me for more recipes.
Brian should be a mystery writer. That's a really good, how do you extract that?
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant, dude. That is so brilliant. And whenever I go to the grocery store, says back to the cereal box, I buy a pack of toilet paper just so I can ask this judgment question. Do you think I have enough toilet paper for the amount of groceries I bought?
That's why when they ask you paper or plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, plastic just isn't as absorbent. Nick Doggart says there needs to be a tag like #writer, not killer, to warn the assorted authorities.
Oh, that takes all the fun out.
Yeah, I've started putting research in my search arguments for all the crap that I do for my stories.
Hey, I got a package.
Oh, we many of the ladies here appreciate a good package.
Yeah. No. No.
Yeah, we found Jerome's limit finally.
No, it's just that Jerome just doesn't have it for her to be the porn star.
Well,
I'll just say that. Wannabe, just don't,
Yeah.
There's certain requirements.
We finally have limits on the show, people. Enjoy it while it lasts. And
Scott sent me a second one. My boss sent me a second iPhone.
Really?
Yeah. I hope never talk with him.
I was going to say, did you ask for one?
No, I don't know. They just sent me a second one.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
It used to be a law where I used to live that if they sent you something and you didn't ask for it, you got to keep it.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Good things happen when you're on this show. And Scott Crocker says, just remember, kids, it's really hard to identify burnt remains that don't have any teeth.
Oh, no. That's not
DNA
true.
Now.
Exactly.
DNA, yeah.
The DNA in the marrow of the bones.
That's true. That's true, yeah. Follow us for more life advice. Anyway, yeah. Suddenly my audience grows and it gets creepy. Anyway, Val Michael Salvaggio says, my 11th grade Shakespeare course was one of the best courses for English and Shakespeare that I ever had. When you have a good teacher, it stays with you.
And you know that if you look at Shakespeare, everything that Shakespeare wrote, we're still using today in one form or another.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, and also I remember Writer's Digest boiled down like all the stories ever told into 7 different formula, like boy meets girl, boy loses girl sort of thing. And all of them had actually been used by the time Shakespeare first put quill to paper.
Oh, heck, he changed the story of Hamlet. That was around for a long time, and he just made some changes. So even Shakespeare wasn't original.
Exactly. And he may have had ghostwriters too. So
Yeah.
James Patterson, you weren't the first. And Scott Rocker said, I could never tire of looking at Sam and Dean Winchester. I'm a little sick of Castiel, though.
I like Cass.
I've not seen a single episode of Supernatural. I need to fix that.
Look. If you don't watch any episode but one,
okay,
you want to watch the episode called Scooby Natural.
Oh, I heard about that one. Yes.
You know, we did a whole show on that episode on my show.
Oh my God, how cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And Joe Dog reminds us that breaking news, Hammer and Hank Aaron passed away this morning.
Yes, he did.
86. He had a good long run there.
Man, and you gotta, the man was absolutely amazing. The crap he went through to get to break Babe Ruth's record.
Oh,
Some of the stuff that was said to him, and I respected him even more.
Mm-hmm. Seriously. Yeah.
Well, I think somewhere in my house, I've got his baseball card the year he broke the record.
Oh wow! What a find! That's
yeah. Let's see. Okay, all right, Val. I got one for you. Okay, there's a way to watch Julius Caesar is a wonderful play. Okay, and it's basically about the Civil War, but in Rome after Julius Caesar dies. But we all only know it for the Friends, Roman, and Countrymen speech, right? Okay, and that's an iconic scene. All right, so in the 1950s, they did one where and the person who speaks is Brutus. Okay, and you have Marlon Brando doing it, and you get chills watching it. You're ready to riot like the audience is. Okay, fast forward to the 70s. And they did, I don't know if it was a TV movie or not, but Heston did the Brutus role.
Ooh.
I was ready to gouge my eyes out. Okay? It was that horrible of him doing that speech.
Oh my God.
And for actors and for how Shakespeare is presented, that's what you want. You want the two ends so you can see really good and really bad.
Yeah. Well, I just have to, you talk, back in the day, Brando, oh my God, what a talent back then before he started reading all of his press releases. But yeah, the first time I was just remembering the first time I saw Othello was on PBS one Sunday afternoon, James Earl Jones.
Oh my God. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Huh? Oh, and Anna Maria Salvaggio goes, there you go. Or call your girlfriend, who is the lead forensics death investigator for Wisconsin. PM me the number. I've got a list. Anyway, and Grant Lacker says, I don't think I'm smart enough to keep listening to all this Shakespeare talk. Dude, if I can keep up with Shakespeare, you'll have no problem.
Shakespeare is not that hard, It's you just got to get past a little bit of language.
Yeah, exactly. And once you get past that, you're going to find some gems.
Oh, you will love it. Oh, yeah.
Stories. And dude, none of us are smart enough, says the Skunk Rocker. That is so true. And Return to the Forbidden Island is an awesome adaptation of The Tempest. What is Leslie Nielsen, Robbie the Robot?
Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet. That is a version of The Tempest.
That is a great version of The Tempest.
Definitely. And Anna Maria Salvaggio, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead is fabulous.
Hysterical.
Yeah, and loved Moonlight.
Yeah,
that was a great one. And Skunk Rocker says, R.I.P. Hank Aaron, huge bucket of wind there, a true goat. Definitely.
Amen.
Definitely. And Jeffrey Hayes, good morning, guys. PlasmaFireGraphics.com. Jeffrey Hayes, congratulations on your new contract, being cover artist for Prose Press. Tell him to get some of my stuff out of the pipeline now. Anyway. Jeffrey Hayes.
But, you're being subtle about it.
Yeah, I am. I'm just sneaking it in there, and they ignore me anyway. So it's like, hey, why are you listening to new stuff? I got stuff in there. But anyway, but no, I try to be nice. But anyway, but Jeffrey Hayes, he is Plasma Fire Graphics is sponsoring this episode as always. Please go to Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you.
Excellent.
And Nick Talker says Shakespeare was the MTV of the period. Yeah, good point. Also, please, if you haven't seen the reduced Shakespeare Companies, the complete works of Shakespeare abridged, it is the most hilarious and then suddenly touching production ever seen. Yeah, that is brilliant.
And and Nicholas is right about the MTV, but also it was also the political commentary of the time too. They had to get permission sometimes from the king or the queen, depending upon when it was, Don't execute us for what you're about to see. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Well, they didn't have that First Amendment stuff back then. And Jerome is reading ahead in the comments, says the skunk rocker.
I am not. Well, all right, a little bit. Not
Right
a
for
lot.
his own protection, so he can brace himself for what's coming next. And oh my gosh, true. Yes, says Anna Maria Salvaggio. Used to do Shakespearean theater. My fave will always be Much Ado About Nothing. Yes. Beatrice was always my favorite to play. Emma Thompson's version was lovely.
Yes, it was.
Seriously. And there she is, Cindy Kep, our chief inquisitor. Good morning, my fine feathery friends. Mwah. Cindy, how you doing this morning?
Good morning.
CKOEPP.com for the best newsletter. Free monthly newsletter should be coming out a few days from now, so sign up today at CKOEPP.com. And Joe Dog McKeel goes, I know you don't use that word on this show, but I would not mind a day of big fluffy white raindrops. Well, you may want to come up to Indiana in a couple days. We may be getting some on Sunday night. And you don't need absinthe for a good time, says you. Says, go to Smashwords and look for me. All right. And nope, lime and coconut tastes like crap.
He's not. Joe Dog's not wrong.
No, he's not. He's going to get an amen from this corner. And Lacey Lemke says, I got to get my vaccine so I can see my friends again. This house is driving me nuts. Get me out. Well, we got spare room here, hon. Cookie and I are taking care of ourselves. And if you're chasing that ferry, go to Amazon, look for Brian K. Forrest. See, you got to have Cindy Kep on your show sometime.
Jeez, yeah.
She's awesome. And if I can't join the X-Men after I get my vaccine, I want to speak to the managers, says Brian Rod.
Wait a minute. It's either the X-Men or it's the Walking Dead.
There you go. See, it'll be like cosplay, Brian.
Yeah.
And a simple sword for a stompy robot. Check out Nicholas Tuckard on Amazon. Yes, Nick also has it's a really quick pickup game called Big Stompy Robots. See the cool people I got on this show? I'm telling you.
Sounds like fun.
And speaking of cool people,
Willow. I love Willow.
We all love Willow. Anyone who doesn't love Willow Schuyler has no human soul.
I know. Willow is one of my favorite people.
Mine too. Yeah. She is fantastic. And this coming Sunday at 7 p.m. Sunday on Willow's Pillow Talk, she is going to be interviewing the members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Myself, Joe Dog, yeah, that's what she probably was saying now. Joe Dog McKeel, Amy Hale, Carl Witzman, and Ted Davies Artistry. It will be fun. Hello, darling.
Willow, all I can say is I recommend a solid back chair and the whip, like lion tamers,
Ooh,
get you guys to jump through the hoop of, the flaming hoop, and
that's true. And I'm thinking, whip, that will save me $20 downtown. And back of the cereal box, Superman celebration will happen. The prophet of pulp culture has spoken.
I hope so.
I hope so for their sake too, as well. And calling all wolves, Amanda Tucker, pick up her book Coy Wolf today.
Excellent.
And Sarah says just a few years ago, there were students at the U of I coming into the health center where I worked who had whooping cough.
Yeah.
And the U of I is really bad about like spinal meningitis for some reason.
Yeah.
And Willow Schuyler says, I'm waiting for my government to get their shit together with the vaccine. They must be working with ours too. And Sarah says they barely got a breath between coughing fits.
Oh, yeah.
Eye-opening, no doubt. And Brian Rodman has an endorsement for Cindy Kep here. I just received my copy of Animal Eye, he says, and my goodness, I am so excited to dive in. It's super long. And that's when Christian died. And, we have a graphic for that now, because every time we say something naughty, and then Christian died.
Oh, that's good.
And by the way, while we're there, thank you to our Patreon supporters. We do appreciate you all. This is what you're sponsoring. Please don't get any buyer's regret now. But anyway, no. Head on over to CKOEPP.com and get your copy today. Also, sign up for her amazing newsletter. She's leveling up this year. I'm saying there's a whole lot of people in this broadcast 2021 is going to be your bitch. I guarantee it. You're going to make it that way. And Cindy Cap says, poetry to chase the blues away. Check out Teresa Dunn Poetry Expressions too. And don't die, don't draw on Cookie. Yeah, that's what will happen. It'll be nothing but me with a memory and a fine red mist. And in all seriousness, as a chronic asthmatic, says Brian Rodman, I can't wait to get my vaccine. And emphasis on I can't wait. I've been inside my house for almost a year. I need a documentary film crew to follow me as I am reintroduced to the wild.
Well, Brian, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tag you, put a nice tag collar on you, so we can track your movements, and then the Mutual of Omaha crew are going to gently release you back into the wild. Okay. Now, see, now here's a question, Brian. How many people are going to get the Mutual of Omaha reference?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Marlon Perkins. And Jim is,
Jim was always going with out to the back with the young native girls.
That's true. Poor guy. Yeah. We're giving Jim a toothpick, and he's going to be facing the grizzly bear there. And next time you're into a perilous situation that somebody else got you into, check out Mutual of Omaha. Yeah, for their fine insurance. So we'll be tracing Brian Rodman's migratory patterns later.
Yes.
And Anna Maria Salvaggio says, Cookie, I'm sure knows how to kill Brian with a Sharpie. She doesn't need to run. No, it's not her that will need to run.
That's true. That's like my wife,
And Nick Tucker will verify that, having met Cookie. Cookie doesn't need to run. She's more likely to use Brian as a jack-o'-lantern pattern. She's going to hollow out my skull and start carving is what's going to happen. And she's not going to find anything up there. Anna Maria Salvaggio says, hadn't thought about that show in forever. Loved Bill Bixby.
And that's the thing. The Magician was the show that everyone forgot about.
Yeah, it was so good.
People remember him for Eddie's father.
Yeah.
They remember him from The Incredible Hulk.
Of course, yeah, iconic.
And then there was one other he did, but again, people completely forgot about that. And he did a show just before he died where he was a newscaster also.
Oh, yes. I remember that one.
But again,
like Good Morning Beantown or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but again, people have forgotten all those except for those other two shows.
Yeah, and My Favorite Martian, of course. And I saw him on PBS in a production of Steam Bath by Bruce J.
Really?
And Valerie Perrine was the girl in there, and they had like full nudity on that one.
Wow.
And here I will reenact Bill Bixby's role from that moment. Because I was doing the same thing. So anyway, but yeah, Bill Bixby was an incredible actor, and his late wife, Brenda Benet, was also a fine actress. She was in the first Walking Tall movie.
Yes.
So
yeah,
also on game shows a lot. They were also great. And Cindy Cap says, if you're not supporting your favorite artistic sorts on Patreon, you're missing out on lots of cool material. Thank you, Cindy.
Well, now wait a minute. I'm going to make a little side comment on this. Okay.
Yes.
I support my local artists at the shows. Okay.
That works too. That works.
Yeah.
Really well. Yeah.
Because I can't afford a Patreon because, basically I'm like most people. I'm struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And as much as I want, there are a lot of Patreons out there that I want to support, but unfortunately, like most people, we've taken a hit because of the virus. Somebody has to stay home to watch my daughter. So we've effectively cut our finances in half, and we weren't doing so great to begin with. We're just now starting to get our head above water.
I hear you.
So if you can't support them on the Patreon, which, I'm sorry to say, not everybody can, when you go to a convention, buy a piece of art. Buy
their books, buy their creativity. Yeah. Definitely. Well, the thing is about Patreon, and I don't want to turn this into a commercial for mine. But seriously, a lot of us have like a $1 level.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like for $1, if nothing else, folks, you want to become a part of history.
Yep.
These people are now a part of this broadcast forever and ever. And they're also going to be mentioned in my audiobooks. They're going to be mentioned in print for anything I do going on. As long as they're an active Patreon member, they will be mentioned, and their names will be immortalized. And I do appreciate the $1 levels. And for $5, we're also offering views of our like I said, my upcoming works in progress, and for $10 a month, we're very slowly uploading some of our works for download and future.
And Patreon has done wonders. I mean, because of Patreon, a number of artists have actually gotten their stuff to market so people can see it, and it's been really good stuff. And I please do not misunderstand what I'm saying here.
Oh no, we get that. Seriously, this has been a challenging year for all of us. And the fact that you have scaled back your finances, good for you. We'd rather have you inside your house than on the street.
Well, I look good in a cardboard box underneath the bridge.
I bet you do, young man. I bet you just rock the look. And now here's the troll collection from Jerome.
Exactly.
Jerome. And Sarah is now just had that moment that poets dedicate their lives to describing, having seen my Sharpie collection. Oh, the shenanigans to be had with them. I love Sharpies with an unholy passion, and I don't know why. I haven't even taken these out of the box yet, So.
Beginning of the school year, they're always on sale at your local Staples or Office Max.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that there's other things you can do with them, but anyway, I have no scepter.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me it's like the old mimeograph machine?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Oh my God! Yes, they come back a little bit voice, and you're like.
So there's a scene in a movie that you kids will never not have remembered called Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes.
And the teacher hands out the tests. And what do the kids do? They take the paper and they sniff it like it's a drug before they even start taking the test.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh God. I remember those days. I remember like complaining when the teacher would run mimeographs the night before.
Oh, it was a shame.
And we would like, could you run them off now? We want that. And she's like, no, you don't. I can't explain to you why you would should not be doing this sort of thing. Of course, this is back in the day when Vicks Formula 44 over-the-counter cough medicine had codeine.
Codeine, yes.
And it's like my mom would get me the cherry flavor and stuff, and it's only now that I understand why I was saying this. It's like, Mom, can we get Vicks 44? I know it tastes like the bottom of a toilet, but could I get that instead?
I feel much better afterwards.
Yeah, it's like I can go duck hunting with a golf club, but I didn't understand that at the time. Now I do. This is why I have a serious problem. Anyway, Willow Skylar says, "Good morning, everyone. I switched from Facebook to YouTube. I wasn't getting flirted with enough." Well, darling,
sweetie,
yeah.
Come on, you haven't talked to the two old guys here.
I know, really, the ones who could appreciate you
and also know how to properly flirt.
Exactly, we've got experience.
I've got plenty of slap marks on my face, so I heard what you can and can't say.
Yeah, and my nickname is Officer That's the Man. So don't tell me I lack for experience, my God. Cindy Cap says tonight, check and tune into the Historical Fantasy Guild at 7 p.m. Central for terrific fun and cool info. That is so true.
Excellent.
And the Zero Box says Mark and Nani remain happily married. Nani Darnell is still alive. Okay, I was thinking of someone else, another magician. Oh, no, I was thinking of another magician, the Pendragons. I think they got divorced. They did that beautiful, probably the best ever of the Transformation Act.
Oh yeah.
He used to do where
wait a minute. Here's one that the kids won't remember.
Metamorphosis.
Okay, here's the one the kids won't remember because I haven't seen him since the 70s. You remember Mark Henning?
Oh yeah,
with the cheesy mustache.
Yes, and the style.
Yeah.
Yes. Although he did one of the best water torture or water chamber acts one night with Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and Bill, either he was the greatest actor alive or he wasn't let in on the background stuff because he was genuinely concerned for Mark to get the hell out of that water box. So yeah. It's good. Crocker says, "Sorry, Willow. I save all my flirting for Sam and Dean."
Oh,
Chester. We understand that. Then that's one less person.
Moose and Squirrel.
Oh yeah, Moose. I used to role play a Russian ballerina in a Champions game.
Oh, you played Champions.
I played Champions 3rd edition, man. 3rd edition with that great George Perez cover on the outside. But
I had a friends of ours. We did so much Champions that I went from a regular one to having no weaknesses. That's how long we played those characters.
Oh, we had a guy at our table who had like he was basically our Iron Man.
Yes.
If Iron Man was a real dick, and I'm talking about the player. But anyway, he was bragging about how he had min-maxed his character to the ultimate degree, and I said, "Dude, I can kill you 16 points." And he's like, "You cannot." I said, "Yes, I can." And I explained, first round, I make a roll to attach the device on you. It is a device, one use only, limited charge, sticky.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Phase 2, it has desol usable on others, but with the min-max of usable only on metal and ceramics and plastic. And then on the third phase, delayed activation, it goes off. Suddenly your armor goes intangible. Next phase, I push you and you fall on your backside. Next phase, I step into the space where your intangible armor is. Phase after that, the charge wears off and it goes solid. The next phase after that, I unload all your armaments on you.
Oh, you don't have to do that. You just had to step on him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just listen hard in these toes.
So for those who don't know, Champions is a superhero role-playing game, and all you need is a piece of paper, a pencil, and D6 dice. You don't need all the other dice that you need for because of pepper spray. All you need is D6, and that's the beauty of that game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I played Champs for about 15 years.
Oh, I love Champions.
Oh, I grew to have issues with the initiative system, but other than that, it is a beautiful, beautiful, well done system. And 99% of the people that are watching on YouTube are probably doing just fine. I'm part of the 1% that's merely doing okay today. Well, Skunk, the day is going to get better.
The day is still young.
That's right. You got a chance to salvage it all. And the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS is where you go for all things Doctor Who. Sign up for their newsletter. And Sarah's feeling better. Thank you. Sarah has had a bout with the bad cold recently.
Okay. Glad she's doing better.
Yeah, and her family, COVID is, kind of creeping through there. So, and insert shameless plug here. Make sure it's lubed up first. Craft Paper Muse is an independently published bi-monthly magazine, says Anna Maria Salvaggio, centered on intentionally living a creative, digitally analog life while maintaining wellness and balance. That's a good mission statement.
Wow,
there.
that's tough.
That's classic. And free to read online and available in print for limited runs, stuffed with paper goods like stickers, prints, and zines, fielding columnists, interviews, and advertisers. Ooh. That sounds cool. If you think of it, send me a DM for a link to that. I'd like to see that. Yeah. And Christian Basil goes, "Hey, Jerome, nice buttons."
Sorry, she beat you to it.
There we go. And Christian Carl sprays the Bianca in her mouth. Yeah. And the back of the cereal box is Cindy Kemp tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central, and hope it gets better.
8 a.m. Central is 9 o'clock East Coast time.
Yeah. Well, he's on. Yeah. Well, it's 8 a.m. East Coast time.
That's just Central right there.
Central? Well, then no wonder I never get to see the show. But anyway, no, I'm sleeping is what it is. And hope it gets better, says Carl Witzman. We all agree. And it never gets better. It just maintains mediocrity, says Skunk Rocker. Well, there's something to be said for that, even. At least it doesn't get any worse. And Nicole and mine first date was a full 12 hours. That's when you know you're doing it right. Exactly. And back of the cereal box says, my problem is that I fall in love with every woman I meet.
I've been there. That gets, to be honest, it does get a little old fast.
It does. Yeah,
because your emotions are shot to hell by the end of the third one.
No, if it gets to that point with me, so, it's like, she got a pulse. Hey, tell her I'm free tomorrow night. And Skunk Rocker says, it could be worse. Could be raining. Exactly. And John, you have that problem too. And note to say, we got the comment dump there. Hold on here. Now oh man, see, you've probably seen this in stream.
Yeah,
you get far behind, as I tend to do, and we will be. Yeah, we're like way behind. So
sorry guys.
Yeah, we're just having too much fun. Screw y'all. Anyway, we're having fun. We hope the rest of you are too. And I will be on the Star Chamber podcast with 7-Star Press Imaginarium Steven Zimmer and Holly Philippe on March 3rd on Facebook. Beautiful.
Excellent. So you're going to try people in absentia? Because, that's what Star Chambers were.
That's true. That's true. I was on with Bobby Nash the other night, so it's
Oh,
a great.
Bobby's a great guy. I bought a piece of art from Bobby.
Oh,
You
he's fantastic. Yes, for those
Uh,
who don't know, Bobby Nash, when if you buy a book directly from him at bobbynash.com, he will actually draw on the outside of your package. Don't get excited, Christian. Uh, but check it out. And also, he's a great writer. He's a good guy
yeah,
too.
he's a good guy.
And I'm gonna go back. I told everybody we were gonna do 90 minutes, but Jerome, God bless you for putting up with the insanity this long. I hope you've had a fun time.
Oh, this has been great.
We gotta have you back, man. We gotta have you back. In fact, you can have the show. I'm leaving anyway.
No. Remember, I work the third shift, so the reason you don't see me a lot on your show is I'm usually sleeping. Because I go to bed about 5 a.m.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's what I'm doing while I'm doing the show. I'm sleeping, so I'm just sleeping. I go back and look at the video and go, "What the hell did I just say?" Anyway, classic gaming is great, says Nick Tockard. I think the background is why I make games like the hybrids role-playing games so smooth. The tight, simple rule system is better than a lot of these more bloated games, and that's the problem. Champs can be pretty complicated.
Yeah.
And so, kind of like D&D to a degree. And
here's an old school one. You ready for this one? Traveler.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Yeah.
Hey, old school.
Oh, definitely. Wow. And, geez, looks like an hour of comments just got skipped. Yep. Pretty much. Anyway, that's what happens. No, I apologize to everybody for skipping the comments, but Jerome and I have had a blast having you on, Jerome. And we gotta do this again sometime. Philip Thompson, glad to see you here. And Val's got tons of both. And speaking of superhero RPGs, I still have my copies of Heroes Unlimited first and second edition. Oh, yeah. Plus all the books for Palladium Fantasy RPG, and also have my 3X D&D books as well as 5th edition. I still have all of my Champs 2 and 3, plus the supplements, and a complete set of the DC role-playing game, a number of the Marvels, plus Hackmaster.
I have my D&D supplemental books that were not done by him, but they're signed by E. Gary.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
My wife has a complete set of the last complete worlds that Gygax put together.
Yep.
Directly from him at Gen Con.
Oh.
And here's another name. I knew Timothy Bradstreet when he was in high school.
Wow.
He used to come into my comic shop, the comic shop I was managing, and he would show me his art. And just even as a teenager, he's like, "Do you think I've got a chance?" I'm like,
yeah.
Dude. Get your butt up to Chicago and start showing your portfolio. And how many here have more dice sets than comics? Now, I can't claim that, but I do have 5.5 pounds of dice.
I can tell you specifically, I don't have that many dice. Okay. I do have about a pound of dice, but then I also have 47 white boxes of comic books sitting in a storage facility. So
There you go. Anna Maria Salvaggio goes, rarely use markers, but have Copics when I do. Love Posca pens, more paint than marker. And someone just introduced me to watercolor crayons. And Andy Shaggy Cordy has pens that he's kept alive for 20 years.
Wow.
And he uses them. He's an artist.
Wow.
I think it is you have to figure out whether it's alcohol or water-based, and then you just soak them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Pigment still stays in there, but they just dry out is all. Now, Brian Rodman says, guys, this show is such a blast. I think we need to get you two on the Dastardly Dingoes at the same time. The universe may explode. As always, thank you for such a great show, my friends. And remember, don't wait for your ship to come in. Build your own and sail into greatness.
That's true.
Love it, Brian. Thank you. And have a great weekend, everyone. BrianRodman.com, also on Patreon. Please check him out. And we're going backwards. And Doug Hennig, he died about 10 years ago. Yes, the Pendragons did get divorced. Charlotte Pendragons is one of my best friends. Oh, cool. She was wonderful. And Scott Rocker is saying, oh, my God, I'm having so much trouble with this stupid thing. I'm just done with it. And I'm going to comment. I'm not going to comment anymore. Forget everything. Well, we got your comment in, so shut up. Anyway, and Sharpies are good, but really try Bic intensity markers. They don't get as streak lines, but give a solid color like digital coloring. And
check that out.
Yeah, definitely. And here we go. And this is what happens when you get no context when you go backwards. Grape Triamenic. Oh, Grape Triamenic was the worst better than the cherry flavored one. Oh God, I remember that.
Yeah.
And Brian Robin says, my nickname is Officer. That's the man. O'Brien. I just scared the crap out of my sleeping cats with my bellowing daughter. Dude, that was hilarious. Thank you. Thank you. And to everyone whose comments we skipped, we do apologize, but we had a good time. And Billy Phil Art and Comics reached 200 people and 3 engagements this week. Well done, Phil. Well, and have a great weekend. Remember to drink your Ovaltine. That's right. And remember that Serotan is nature spelled backwards. And the old Ted Mack Amateur Hour. And everyone, take care and stay creative. You too, Rick Bradley. Thank you for being here. And I still run a campaign from the new Easy to Master Dungeons and Dragons rulebook from the black box that I found alongside the road in 1989.
Yeah. No. Satanic Panic was even earlier than that. Trust me. I went through it in the early 80s.
That's true. Yeah, I still have the track that warned me of the dangers and made me want to contact a local group. And Carl Winston says, have a great day, everyone, and see some of you tonight. Carl, we'll see you on the green room tonight, where what happens in the green room stays in the green room, and thank God for it. So anyway, thank you very much. And Jerome, I appreciate your being here, man.
No problem. I'm glad. Thank you for having me. I had a dynamite time. Your audience is a lot of fun.
Aren't they, though? And again, I apologize, everybody, for skipping so many comments, but please go back and reread them when you watch this show in the reruns, and we know you will. And also, go ahead and make comments. Some of the conversations go on for a solid week after we sign off. So, Jerome, I'll give you one more time in the spotlight. Tell people how to find you and to keep up with you now that you have engaged them and filled their hearts with you.
Well, since I am secretly in witness protection.
Nobody watches the show. We're on the internet. Nobody goes there.
You can find me at Saturday morning cartoons, 9 a.m. on the Hanging with Web Show Network. I am on Twitter. I think I'm as Hood1707. On Facebook as Jerome Connor. Instagram, I think I'm also as Hood1707. I'm trying to think where else I'm found on social media. My MySpace page died. My BBS died. So I think that's about it for now. But I'm also a member of Starfleet, the International Fan Association. So you can find me through that organization. And that's it for now that I can think of. I'm going to have to come up with a much better list, though, Brian.
Oh no, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty darn good. And also, he's a frequent member of the Hanging with Web Show Network. So whenever you see Jerome Connor on the guest list, get your fanny over there and camp out and start watching like it's Best Buy and you're coming up on Black Friday. Okay. Couple more comments here. Carleen, later, all great show, Brian and Jerome. Wow, Carly, thank you for being here. Check out Carly, and Carl Wisman on Lulu.com. They've got some great books there. And Brian Wensloff says tomorrow on Reels and Heels, we're talking about pro wrestling, our favorite promos, matches, the 2021 Royal Rumble, and the WrestleMania announcements. Check it out, 2:15 tomorrow afternoon on the Hanging with Web Show Network. Yeah, great show. And all right, Carl, I'll see you tonight. I don't know what I'll be drinking. Still trying to decide between beer, whiskey, and drain cleaner, says Skunk Rocker. I say Garcon, a brown paper bag of your finest.
Does the drain cleaner come flavored now, like vanilla or something?
That's a good point. That's skip the Drano. That's true. Drano should be used as a mixer rather than a straight up.
Well, they also used it to cut the cocaine and the heroin too.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So anyway, you can follow us for more recipes here on Rising Tide Publications Network. And Ted Davies Artistry. Also, don't forget TED Talks on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m., a part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Have a great day, Brian. Everyone, Ted, thank you very much, brother. Have a great weekend. See you tonight. Great show, guys. Thank you so much, Ted. Have a great day, my brother. And Jerome, I'm going to take over the screen, and then stick around. I want to say goodbye to you properly. But
okay.
Anyway, everyone, please thank Jerome Connor for taking time out of his sleep time to be with us this morning. And Jerome, I appreciate the hell out of you, brother. Thank you for making my day.
Thank you. You made mine.
All right. We will be talking in a minute or two. I'm going to mute you and take you out of the picture here. And I should be muted, but it's my show, damn it. Anyway, Brian Wensloff also says, much love to you, Jerome Connor. And thank you, Brian, for introducing me to this fine, super fine man. definitely appreciate that. And thanks, Jerome, from Carl Witzman there. And I want to thank everyone here for treating Jerome Connor with such love. I promise he will be back if I have any damn thing to say about it. And thank you all for being here. Appreciate all your comments. Again, apologies for skipping so many. But, the needs of the many if you're a Star Trek fan, etc. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you to Plasma Fire Graphics for sponsoring this episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Thank you again to geekinsider.com. Sorry we couldn't get the video up onto the Geek Insider YouTube page today. There was some sort of glitch there. I don't know what it was. Maybe we'll try uploading it later. But anyway, thank you to everyone at Geek Insider for your support of the show and for powering this. Also, don't forget risingtide.pub. That is where you can sign up for my free monthly newsletter. Next issue goes out February 1st at 5 p.m. Eastern. So please sign up for today. It's new. It is going to be a new issue with new secret links and all kinds of motivation, education, inspiration, and a special video unique only to the magazine. So if you want to hear from me directly on there, that's the way to do it. So please sign up today if you would, please. Also, please sign up for the Rising Tide Publications page on Facebook. Also, Brian K. Morris Rising Tide Publications on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please like and subscribe to the page on Facebook, as well as the brand new Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook. You can get all of the great shows from the Rising Tide Network in one spot. That includes not just Nevermind the Furthermore and Clever Tile Pending, but also Amy Hale's Angels. We'll be putting up Creative As Hale when that starts up on February 4th at 8 p.m. with me as her first star. Yay, I'm so excited. And also Joe Dog McKeel's Stupid O'Clock and Armchair Rocket Science and Lunchtime at the Doghouse. Brand new show, fun show, great show. And also let's see who else in Stupid O'Clock. I think we got everybody. Also, don't forget tomorrow night, Stupid O'Clock will be on at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. Check it out. Great conversation show. And Sunday at 7 p.m., Carl and Ted and Joe and Amy and I will be sharing a pillow with Willow on Willow's Pillow Talk on the Hanging with Web Show Network. And we're going to be talking about the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Also a page on Facebook. Please join us there. Thank you to everyone who came by here. Thank you again to Jerome Connor for being a great guest this morning on Nevermind the Furthermore. And we hope you all have a great weekend. Hope you got some cool stuff lined up for the weekend. And we will see you Monday at 10 a.m. on the next episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. So as always, folks, please remember to stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you Monday on a new Nevermind Furthermore.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Thank you for tuning in to Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Publications and Brian K. Morris production. Member of the Comic Book Advocating Network and sponsored by GeekInsider.com. Become part of our show with sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For details, contact advertising at geekinsider.com or visit podcast.geekinsider.com. The Geek Insider podcast is available on your favorite app, so please hit the follow button and share it out to your friends, because if you don't, you might have to turn in your geek card.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
So let's go.
Ooh.
Oh.
My nippies got hard.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
Reels and Heels is a podcast that discusses movies, television, wrestling, and more. With a rotating guest list of friends and filmmakers alike, Reels and Heels salutes the creative arts of all kinds. Join Brian Winzeloff and Nicole Jobin live every Saturday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Reels and Heels.